Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the Shop. We're into this kick of cleaning wrenches. We've been watching a channel on YouTube, Scout Crafter. I may put a link in my description, but we was binge watching last week and he restores a lot of old wrenches. I'd saved this. I gave away a lot of old wrenches. I wish I still had them, but they were all wore out. 15, 16ths, and 1 inch. And I have used this. I'm trying to think if I used to use this on my torch or not. Because of the size, INDESTRO. And I think that's the name of a little ball peen hammer I have. So I have no idea how old this is. If anybody has any idea, let me know. Drop forward select steel. Made in USA. We're going to paint this. I think we're going to use some of that nice blue. And what we'll do is we'll just take our model car brush and put it in there, spray it in the lid, then use a brush and just paint it in there, and then we'll go back and rub off the letters with some thinner, maybe some sandpaper, or I've taken my Dremel too, like on my clamp, but I don't really want to grind on the letters because you can tell that it was ground on. I just want to wipe them off. We're going to use various things. We'll probably take a couple pictures, wire brush and the drill. We don't really want to take it to our belt sander because if I had a 1 inch belt sander, I probably would try to polish this. But we're going to try to smooth some of this out, make it kind of shiny, not super polished. We might just use our orbit sander, just get it on there and get this nice and smooth. We don't want to get rid of the lettering though. So stay tuned. We'll bring you back and show you what it looks like when it's done. And then you'll see some pictures at the end of different tools I use to do the cleaning and sanding with. So stay tuned. I hope you're all not getting tired of this. I've just run out of ideas, and this is one of the things I've been doing lately when I come out here. So we'll be back. Okay, we're fighting the glare from the windows. This is just with a wire brush. Okay. We're going to take our 120. This is from Menards, this paper is. And we're going to put on the orbit sander and we're going to attempt to smooth this out. Get all them deep scratches. It's all experiments. Whatever it looks like, that's what we get. It's just an old wrench. I'm still learning how to do this stuff. Our wire brush is really wore down on we used our drill. We do need to get some kind of grinder with a wire brush if we was going to do this for a hobby. Stuff like that. We'll give you a look now. We'll probably take the sander and go across it. We could use our disc sander, put it up against there, but I feel more comfortable with something I'm holding in my hand. And just that same thick piece of steel we did the C-clamp with. I did redo my jaws. In the Sunday in the Shop I can ramble on. I filed them and sanded them. I had something in there that twisted out and ripped the copper out. But it was well worth putting copper jaws in this vise. I mean, you can do all kinds of neat stuff. And I have cardboard jaws. If you ever find this stuff, save it. Old cardboard angle iron looking stuff, that works great for soft jaws. Okay, we'll bring you back when we're done sanding it and we'll see what you think and what I think. Okay, here's our progress so far. It's kind of hard to see in the lighting here. We took the orbit sander, we had it clamped down on our piece of metal in the vise, and we went straight down and pressed really, really hard, okay? Then you see where the paper's chewed up? There. We was taking the edge of it like this and polishing it. Let's go back to the one that's the shiniest. That's what we was getting with it. But we had the problem of catching on all this and it's ripping the paper up. So we kind of went at a little bit more of a, instead of this like down here. And this is 120. I mean, it's not going to remove a lot of metal and it's not really going to polish. If I had a buffer, you could probably buff a lot of that out. I'm trying to find where it had them nasty ridges. We really did a good job on this with it. But just freehand and holding it with the sander. Where are those grooves we showed you before? See, we can't even find it. Here they are. See what's left of them? We can focus. Like right up in here. That was them gouges on here. So we could take them all the way out. We just want to clean this up so we can use it and so it looks nice. We're going to try the experiment, like I said, with the blue paint in here with just the brush when we're done. We're deciding whether to polish this or not, the way it's cast, or just leave it alone and shine up the edges. I think we're going to leave this alone because we're just going to make it look, I believe, too gaudy if we do that. Because we're not going to paint it there. We may clear coat this when we're done. That's part of your parting line when they cast this stuff. See how it just don't come out all the way? That's what that line is. That's where the wrench is cast. See that groove? We'll work on that a little bit, but like I said, you can either do that, lay the sander flat and push down real hard. There, that's a little better. See that finish? That's good enough for a wrench you're going to use in your toolbox. This is just a little carried away unless you want to show it off. We will take this to our scrubby buffer pad, what's left of it, and try to get a little bit more of the scratches out. Like I said, we want to use this wrench. I'm sure it will fit on one of my torch heads or something. That's why I'd saved it. So, there you go. We're enough yakking on this. We bring it back, we'll be all done. And paint the inside of this. We'll take alcohol to clean this up, get all the dirt, grease, everything is left. Like far as this stuff where it's jagged, we may take a file to it a little bit. I keep getting so close to the camera. We may file some of that so it's not so burred over. But like I said, back to work. We'll bring it back when we're done with it. Okay, I'm gonna show this very lightly how I'm doing this right here on the edge of this paper, because it will eat it up when I was out there, but very lightly. Watch how soft I touch it. I was very lightly doing that. I just had to do this part so it looked better. We're not going to get right up in here, but like I said, we're going to take our scrubby thing and try to make it a little better to get some of them lines out. Like I said, we're going to use this wrench, so we're not going to worry about it being perfect. We're just an amateur doing this, so stay tuned. Okay, while we watch the paint dry bake on over there hanging off the wood stove, we are going to have some, let me get down here, Sunday in the shop so we can goof off a little longer. Just cheap brand, not promoting anything. I don't know if you can pause on that. These were like 2 for $5. They're always better cooked, so it's going to be salami versus propane torch. Don't worry, this is sanitary. I wiped it on my pant leg. Crank this up a little. Even in the microwave, this stuff's better. Or fry it in your cast iron skillet, chop it up little pieces and have with scrambled eggs. It's always better when it's cooked. Brings out more flavor. There you go. I think we had about enough of that. And we will have a little snack and we will come back after we got the wrench finished. Okay, we're done. We're not happy with how we painted this. It got really goopy. Trying to dip a brush, and because you know how spray paint is, it's not like out of a bottle or anything. It gets drying really fast. No excuse, but it got really gooey. I was losing some bristles out of the brush. I didn't like it, so I took some mineral spirits and started rubbing it off, so you can see where its paint's coming off. But we're just going to leave it. It'll look like an old wrench where the paint's wearing, I guess. One more time, I reviewed the film. This is where those gouges were. We did take the sander to the edges here. We just buffed this clean inside. We was trying to get rid of some of that. Like on the ends, we took the sander. We was trying to get rid of all those burrs. There you go. INDESTRO. I might have said INDESTRO. Okay, that's what that is. So we're just going to leave it like this. It's going to be thrown in the toolbox. I'm sure it fits my cutting torch head or something. That's why I saved it. Okay, we're going to see what you think of this. I've redone this once. This is very hard to read. I don't think I can take a picture. INDESTRO Manufacturing Company, Chicago, USA. Let me know if you want to see a video of me, maybe next Sunday, redoing this. I redid this one time, okay? And I know I abused it, but when I got it, it was in a bunch of junk from a rummage sale. It was all greasy. This was not straight at all. It looks almost like a toy. But I use that to drill press when I put something in the vise when I want to, you know, get some homemade parallels. I want to get it straight in the vise, you know, tap it in there. That's the only thing I use it for anymore. It just lays on the drill press. So this was cleaned and polished once. It was all freehanded, like with the Dremel. I used my emeries and rolled around there, and now I have the disc sander. I can make that flatter. Not much I can do with this. You could probably see some nasty grind marks where I made an attempt to reshape that, but let me know if you want to see a video on this. I cannot tell you how long it is. Find a ruler here. Making our Sunday videos a little bit too long, but anyway, it's probably about 8.5 inches long. Not a big hammer at all. This is only 2 inches, and the diameter of this is something like 3/4. So it's not a big hammer. This is what I was using scrape paint with. Made out of an old kitchen knife. It looks kind of like an X-Acto knife, doesn't it? Something I had made. I don't know if I sharpened on my little work sharp belt sander or not. No, knife sharpening tool. I might have touched it up. Just an unusual knife. I go to thrift stores and find stuff, but it just fits so good in my hand for doing small tasks with. Just a simple old table knife. But the old stainless table knives and stuff were made out of good stuff. So there, you got another extra in the video there. So thanks for watching this week, and we'll snap a picture of this for what it's worth, and we'll see you next week.